a TV show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced and get happy with Dr. Marissa. And this show is about hope and happiness. So there's no gossip, no scandal. Instead, I want you to focus on your own reality show and how you can be happy 88% of the time. So I have shows and topics.
Sunday, Monday, happy days. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days.
Monday, Tuesday,
Happy days.
Wednesday, Thursday,
Happy days.
Friday, whatever.
Happy days.
What a day.
I love you.
I love you too.
Best known as the mom from Happy Days, and she is a delightful 89-year young Marion Ross to my studio. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Dr. Marissa, this is such a treat for me.
Oh.
My goodness, you're a wonderment.
Which is exactly the kind of guest that I like. Those who have gone through life, good and bad, and then taken those experiences to alchemize them into the person they are now and doing good on the planet. I'd like you to welcome Corey Feldman.
If you're grateful for it and you say right away, thank you, God. Oh, my God, it's so beautiful. I'm so blessed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Then guess what? More good things will come to you.
Does this sound familiar at all? She's back again to mark my Cancer Awareness and Prevention Month show. Please welcome Fran Drescher. Hi, Fran.
On and supporting cancer schmance. I really appreciate it.
So what would you say are some of the biggest myths, Fran, that people have about cancer?
Well, I would say that they think that there's a cure for it.
Okay.
Instead of a cause for it.
This is the first call-in show when I get to be Dr. Marissa, the kinder, gentler Dr. Laura. And people call in to get their life tires balanced and their critical thinking or their BS, their belief systems, smog checked. And today I am delighted to have Mila calling in from Birmingham, Alabama.
We could go 90 days and end up having terrible sex. And then you say, well, the relationship's not all about sex. Well, if I'm not getting great sex from you, then I'm going to get it from somebody else. Right?
That moose just got put on the table. And I see Josh and Jim.
I have to agree
You're
with Clyde.
both nodding. Ramon's sort of half nodding because his wife's listening. But
I understood what was going to happen if Muhammad Ali's youngest daughter, made public that I was going to become a boxer. So I wanted to make sure this was the path that I wanted to go down.
You are absolutely fabulous, beautiful inside and out. And I'm giving you Dr. Marissa's Beneficial Presence on the Planet Award today.
Thank you.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip that started from this tropic point.
When I go, I'm gone.
Are you lonely?
No.
Nah, I knew that was going to be
But I surround myself with people. I mean, I'm always the one cooking for things. I'm always the one that decorates first and come to my house. All the orphans that have no place.
I'm going to have no place to go, so I can come over.
Come on over.
And life is so amazing if we can see it.
Jump off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on CNBC, NBC News, and NBC Sports Radio Station, KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, TuneIn, Audible, Amazon Music, Tiki Live, Rumble, Spreaker, you name it, I'm there. And I am your hashtag positively opinionated host, because this show is about hope and happiness. No gossip, no scandal, no K-words, no Kanye talk at all, formerly or now. Because I want you to focus on your own reality show and to be happy 88% of the time. Now, why 88% of the time? Because if you're 100% happy, you are dead. And I do not want dead people listening or watching. You do need the contrast to be happy. So that's why we say 88%. And some people are perfectionists and try to be happy 100 or 99% of the time, and that's also crazy making, because most of the time we're happy. That is the formula. That's what I'm sticking to, and that's why I'm here. And I am so happy. Today is the time where I just reflect and have you take a bite of my gratitude sandwich, which is my discipline for this show. For this last year, we started this. I was like doing new things. So I want you to celebrate life with me by articulating 8 specific gratitudes. And then on the bottom of the button, we do 8 specific appreciations, what we like about ourselves. And Frank, I'm going to ask you to help me today since I don't have a guest. I do have a guest who is waiting on cue. She's fabulous. Her name is Winnie Sun. You may already know of her. She's all over the place on the news, commentator, and more. She's the Wealth Whisperer, and I have a word from her with me that we pre-recorded last week. But I wanted to bring you today on a day where I am by myself, and this is a day that we also look at Monday Mental Health Matters. And I have a great question for you that came in last night when I was at the Blue Water Grill in Catalina Island from Imelda, which is about hating your job, leaving it, suffering from it. So we're going to get to that as well. And I'll do a recap of my fabulous coverage of the Catalina Jazz Festival. So packed show today. Stay tuned. Go to the comment section if you'd like to play along with me. And let's just get started with the bite of my gratitude sandwich. First gratitude for me is 599 consecutive weeks I have been on the air and on camera with this show. Second gratitude is that people who said a show that is about hope and happiness would not last. So glad they're wrong. Third gratitude is that I have a fabulous myriad of men, merry men in the KCAA station supporting me. First and foremost, my sound engineer, Frank, who is not just my sound engineer. If you come on Thursdays, he will be my co-host for Straight Talk. He's grateful for his mom. That's so nice. And I think he's a proud mama's boy. No, I'm kidding. You can't say anything today because it's not Thursday. But I'm grateful for, let's see, the Catalina Express. Amanda, the VP of Marketing, Guadalupe, and Sienna for giving me a wonderful upgrade on the way to Catalina Island, and it's a great company that does wonderful things, bringing us to the beautiful island of Catalina. I am gonna be grateful for Alex at the Hermosa Hotel, who went out of his way to be very kind and helpful to me. Gratitude to Art Good, who puts together this amazing Catalina Jazz Festival. I think I've probably run out of my 8. I'm grateful that I guess this is an appreciation that segues. Grateful for the plethora of very different and interesting things I get to do because I juice my life. I do not stand idly by watching it go or reacting to things that are happening. I am ready and open and embracing of this thing called life, and as a result, more and more wonderful things happen. I remember now my last gratitude, and this is kind of super cool. This is my life when it's naturally high and on steroids when I meditate every day for 15 minutes. And I get a delivery from my universal power source, my UPS man. I was sitting, meditating in Catalina on the walkway on a bench. And when I finished, I opened my eyes and there was this beautiful black, white, and red bird. I did not get a clip of it because I just finished meditating. And I meant to pull this up before, but I am like doing 8 things because I get to go to my client today in Chino Hills. So that was a little bit of a distraction. But let me see. I don't know, Frank, you can look this up. I wrote the name of it down. But this bird, and I'm, not necessarily, what do you call those, bird watcher people? But it was just the most beautiful bird I'd ever seen. And I wrote it down. It's the Himalayan red jacket bird. And apparently it's very rare. Himalayan red jacket. Oops. James. Okay. Bird. It pulled up Himalayan red jackets to pull up. Let's see, the one that I saw was, there's a lot of different colors here, but let's see. There it is. Okay. I'm going to share this with you because, Frank, honest to God, I was like, I've never seen a bird that beautiful. And it took my breath away. So it landed right in front of me, And I was like, wow. And flew, obviously, when I went to grab my camera. And then let's get this on a bigger. Let's see how this go. Wow, can't see it. But anyways, and then here's the coolest thing, because I don't know birds. I didn't know, oh, that's a Himalayan red jacket. But this man who was pushing a stroller with his family walked by at that exact instant and saw the bird, saw me, saw my expression, and he said, wow, that's a Himalayan red jacket, and they only come out once a year. So that was my what hot moment, WATCOT. What are the chances of that? And it was an affirmation for me that whatever I'm doing to stay open and receptive to, I say, let's go up, hashtag UP. U stands for unlimited, P stands for possibilities. That's why I am here. And that's why we're all here. And that's what I try to encourage you to do, is just stay in that realm of possibilities. Life does not suck. I know you think it might feel that way, especially on Mondays, because you have to go to work. But that's our question, actually, when you don't want to go to work and you hate your job. And what do you do then? So that's the top of my bun. My bottom of my bun is I appreciate, Frank, please feel free to also insert your appreciation in there. What do you like about yourself? I appreciate that I am open. I am imperfect. I am doing my best. I am observant. I am reveling in my life. I am appreciating. I am happy 88% of the time. And I'm emotional. There you go. There's my 8 specific things. You got to go fast, Frank, or you're not going to get in there. But that is it for taking a bite of my gratitude sandwich, my Blisscipline for the beginning of every show. And thank you for listening. Alrighty. And now we're going to go right to the interview that I had last week with Winnie Sun. Let me give you a little information about her, because the nice thing again, there's another what got. So I get to interview people that are brought to me through a broadcasting company called A1, and they asked me to interview interesting people for occasions that are, sponsored. And Affleck actually sponsored this spot that I got to interview Winnie Sun. And when we came on in the green room, it was so nice. She said, I am, I follow you, I see you, I don't want to say, she said I was a fan, but it was very complimentary. And I'm like, it's always nice. I never know, sort of, I think I've told you before, I don't, focus on numbers. I don't buy numbers. I actually don't like it when people ask me what my numbers are like, even though they're good, because I think that whole trend, just because you don't have a lot of numbers doesn't mean you have nothing important to say. If I take that defensively, or whether you want to come on my show or not. There was someone who said that, and I will never invite him on my show because of that. And he is actually quite huge, but I don't care because he asked me the wrong question, which was how many followers or what's in your email list. And I know I'm a one-man band saying this, but going against the flow of everyone else. But I believe that if you build it, they will come. And if you stand for something, people with like minds and like hearts will come. And I have plenty of, I think we're over 300,000. Now that I say I'm not about numbers, I have enough to have proof that if you build it, they will come. So how's that? All right. So who is Winnie Sun, who was so complimentary and said that she knows me and she follows me? She's the Wealth Whisperer, and she's a financial expert, renegade millionaire. And she started early with entrepreneurship at age 7. She was selling avocados out of her friend's yard all over the neighborhood. When she was 9, she was working at her father's pizza restaurant, where she memorized tax calculations for every pizza, cup of soda, and menu item that could be ordered. Winnie's the child of immigrant parents who struggled with the new language and the new culture, but they showed her hard work could lead to success. Family isn't rich, but she always felt extremely fulfilled and happy. Her parents were incredible savers, like mine. She remembers being taken to the bank to roll pennies and nickels to be deposited in her first savings account. She credits her first savings account booklet to be like a gift from heaven. So sweet. Education was a top priority in the Sun household. As with many Asian parents, getting the books came before anything else. I know that. Excelled in high school and got accepted into her top choices for college, only to learn her first lesson about bad investing. Her parents put money into a townhouse project that was supposed to pay for college and went belly up. She didn't know it at the time, but her parents' financial hardship and struggles served as the best personal finance education she could have received. When he also knew she never wanted to be in her situation, when he ended up in state at UCLA, working constantly to help her family financially. When most kids were partying, she was searching for side jobs. During college, she started a television audience consulting company, signing the hit shows and big wet networks, America's Funniest Videos, Judge Judy, Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, MTV Pilots, and others as clients. She even became a voting member for the Emmys. So I'm going to have to remember that, Winnie. After more than a decade at Smith Barney, Winnie left to form Sun Group Wealth Partners and her partner, Brandon Chang. In 2011, they left the big firm, started their own boutique practice, and she lives in Southern California with her sons. And I had invited her to some events, but we'll get her live in studio at some point. But I just wanted to give you, I love highlighting colorful women, and Winnie certainly is also qualifies as my hashtag Asian pride. So I am going to show you now our interview that we had last week, and I hope you enjoy. And I'm sharing in a little bit different way, so hopefully this will work. Here we go. And this is Dr. Marissa reporting live, and I have a very special guest today. Just in time for healthcare, open enrollment. A just released annual study reveals that more than half of employees would consider looking for a new job for better health benefits. Joining us today is one of the top financial pros in the nation, Winnie Sun. Winnie, who is known as the Wealth Whisperer, is the host of both the podcast Yes Factor with Winnie Sun and the NASDAQ show Level Up with Winnie Sun. She's here to share details of the 2023-2024 AFLAC Workforces Report. Welcome to my studio, Winnie Sun.
Thank you, Dr. Marissa. It is such an honor to be here with you. I'm so excited to talk to you.
Yes, and I'm so glad that we may get a chance to connect because you are local for a little while. And it's wonderful always knowing that someone knows you. But let's get to the topic at hand, which is, why is picking a healthcare plan key to financial health?
Well, Dr. Marissa, let's face it, money is important. So we're going to start and talk about inflation. I think we can all agree that we felt the pinch of the rise in costs of goods and services this year, with the increase in prices of everyday things like food and gas and clothing and even housing has been huge. If you've been following the news, you know that year-to-year price hikes have definitely taken hold, and that includes on healthcare. So premiums and deductibles have been on the rise, and even the services covered by many health insurance plans have gone up. The 2023 AFLAC Workforces Report showed that employers have been impacted by the cost of goods and includes the impact that businesses can offer their employees too. This year, it's more important than ever that during open enrollment, you take your time and you be a smart shopper.
So tell me the highlights of this year's study.
Well, topping the list this year is employee retention. The AFLAC study showed that 53% of employees are at least somewhat likely to accept a position with lower pay if it includes better benefits. So the steady rise in benefit costs and concerns about rising costs are causing employers to really remain cautious when it comes to balancing the cost of benefits, keeping the employees happy, and more importantly than ever, retaining staff.
That sounds like it's very important and a big shift. So, it sounds like it is an employees market right now. I'm hearing all the time in the news about the shortages. Is there one area of coverage employees are most concerned with?
Well, survey responses continue to highlight mental health and well-being as top concerns among employees. Employees want their employers to care about them and their well-being, and also to provide resources to stay ahead of burnout. In fact, 57% of those surveys say that they're currently experiencing at least moderate levels of burnout. And one of the biggest things is workplace stress. In fact, Dr. Marissa, the overwhelming majority, at a whopping 83% of employees who report high levels of work stress, also face other mental health challenges over the past year, which includes anxiety, depression, and even trouble sleeping.
Wow. That is maybe that the after effects too of COVID, who knows? But that the good news is people are acknowledging it. Now they can do something about it.
Yes.
That's usually my interpretation, though. In what areas are employees and employers not seeing eye to eye?
Well, the quick answer is satisfaction and understanding, right? According to AFLAC's study, 78% of employers actually believe that their employees are highly satisfied with their benefits versus just 59% of employees who say they actually are. And 79% of employers think employees understand benefit costs well, when fewer than half of employees say they actually do. So that disconnect can have consequences when employees don't fully understand the details of their policies and healthcare costs. It's really difficult for them to prepare for those unexpected medical needs.
Good point. Are there solutions to help with insurance coverage?
That's the good news, Dr. Marissa. Supplemental insurance, like plans AFLAC offers, can really help fulfill a need when you consider that half of those surveyed said they aren't able to afford more than $1,000 in out-of-pocket medical expenses. And then 1/3 said that they're in a worse financial position than they were versus just a year ago. And according to the survey, the majority of employees, 88% with supplemental insurance, say that those benefits provide an added layer of financial security and peace of mind. And yet, only 39% of employers say that they offer these supplemental insurance options.
So there's definitely room for improvement. And 8 is always a good number. I don't know if you're Chinese, but 8 is a lucky number in Chinese. So that's a homophone for good fortune. So good number to aspire to insurance companies. Or not insurance companies, but employers for sure. Now, where can we go for more information about this and that AFLAC report?
For more information about everything that we talked about today, and of course, to see more data from the 2023-24 AFLAC Workforces Report, you want to jump on aflac.com/AWR.
All right. That is wonderful. I'm so glad. I love solution. We've outlined some definite need for both employers and employees in this market today. As usual, you are the Wealth Whisperer, Winnie Sun. Thanks so much for coming on my show, and have the best day ever. And again, remember, what is that address that people can go to for more information?
The information, Dr. Marissa, is aflac.com/AWR. I'm so grateful to spend this time with you.
Absolutely. Myself as well. Have the best day ever.
Thank you so much.
I took myself off camera. Wasn't that great? It's so nice to have Asian women role models who do not follow the, I don't want to say stereotype, but certainly the former group difference of being seen and not heard and being diminutive. And I just, I feel such an affinity when I meet Asian women who are out there kicking assets. She definitely is doing that. Did you get that play on words? Yeah. Anyways, let's go to the next topic. I really wanted to use Mondays. This is sort of a new series. I do every once in a while too, because I love movies. We'll do a Monday morning movie review, but Monday Mental Health Matters is becoming a very popular series because everywhere I turn, people say, "Oh, Dr. Marissa, we really, there's so much sadness out there. There's so much worry out there. There's so much anxiety out there. People have not yet recovered from COVID." I hear this over and over and over again. So I've decided pretty much Mondays, that's what we're going to talk about. And so I also love to have people who have real things that they are working on and struggling with. I'll use that word because we hope that as a result of listening to things that real people go through, you are able to relate and also take some of the Happy 88 tips and tools that I do give you on Mondays from my book, 8 Ways to Happiness from Wherever You Are. And you know that Mondays I also give an audiobook copy away to the first person that goes to drmarissa.life and says Mental Health Monday. So let's get to that. I was having a wonderful meal, as I like to do wherever I go, because food is such an important part of joy in my life. I feed my addiction to joy, sometimes literally. And there's these scallops at the Blue Water. Why am I forgetting the name of that restaurant? But everybody knows it's on Avalon. And I have a couple of funny stories around that I'll tell you after, but I want to make sure we get to this question. Imelda was stalking me while I was eating. It was so cute. She had overheard some people from the Jazz Festival stop by my table and compliment, and I had invited them to my show or Google me, and so she did on the sly, and she then owned up to it, and we got in a conversation. She was there, I believe, friend or sister with a cute little baby, and she mentioned that what she was struck by when she was scrolling through drmarissa.life was something that I put on the back of the book as well, which is pain in life. So you will, after reading this book, you will never hate yourself the same way again. Pain is mandatory, but suffering is optional. It is time to stop suffering. Take a booster shot for life, brimming with love, joy, laughter, and happiness. And I came up with those words to sort of summarize this book. And she said that struck her because she was leaving suffering in a job that she did not like. Hate's a strong word. I can't remember if she actually used the word hate, but it was clear that she was very relieved. She was in between. I asked her what she did. She says, "I'm in between jobs. Actually, she's leaving a job where she was suffering and going to a new job." And you could tell that the energy was certainly strongest for the suffering part in that old job. And even though she didn't ask my advice, the name of the show is Take My Advice. I'm not using it. And I actually am using this part of the advice because in addition to being a happiness coach, I am a law of attraction coach. And some of you have seen that. Some of you will say, "Oh, law of attraction, it has become a little bit of a buzzword." I do not use the law of attraction the same way that the emphasis seems to be for a lot of young people. Oh, vision boards, visualize, do, affirmations in the mirror and just visualize yourself getting a whatever the car of your dreams is in your garage, or visualizing your mate, or seeing and being. That's how you attract things, material wealth into your life. That is not the law of attraction I'm talking about. I am talking about the pure law of attraction that I have learned from Esther and Jerry Hicks through Abraham. And Abraham is a collective teacher who speaks words that really resonate in my heart. And he's the one that I learn from. And the bottom line in law of attraction, pure law of attraction, is what you focus on grows bigger. So it's a law, just like gravity. It works whether you believe it or not. And when you focus on something, good or bad, it does become bigger. It does become bigger in your consciousness. It becomes bigger in what manifests in front of you. So I started talking in my gratitudes about that beautiful bird. So I know for sure that because I enjoy and focus on those things that make me delight and wonder. I love the way birds fly in formation. I love seeing babies smile. I love seeing the funny wag of a tail or the little prance of a walk of little dogs. It just makes my day. Because I have trained myself in my discipline to focus on those things that I love to look at, guess what happens? More things that I love become visible to me. That is the law of attraction at work in the most positive way. And all of the good luck I've had, #1 best-selling book when I wasn't even planning on writing a book, having a #1 talk show when I wasn't planning on being a host producer of a radio turned TV show. There's so many things that have happened to me that I did not plan or force or manipulate, that have happened to me that are a direct result. And I don't even think I knew what I was doing at that time to get all these things, because I wasn't articulating the law of attraction at the time. But my heart and soul knew somehow that by enjoying what life has to offer will just bring me more joy and life to offer. Now, why do I preface this question and answer with that is the opposite is also true. If you are focused on what you do not like in life, guess what? You will see more of it. So if you can't stand, and this is something I just started working on last year, because people that cut me off drive me crazy, right? I used to say it, I used to see it, and the more I saw it, the more I saw it. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to stop saying that. I'm going to try to not even notice. And I can say in the last, now that I talked about it today, maybe not today when I go out to the Inland Empire, but I don't see as much that because it doesn't blip on my radar. And that is the law of attraction. Now, for those of you who are still skeptical about the law of attraction, try this. This is an experiment. This is a very harmless experiment. Those of you who want a new car, who are looking or thinking or desiring a new car, you don't even have to be able to afford it. Just think of a car right now. And it can be as rare or as common as you want. And go out driving today. And I'll bet you that you're going to see that car more than you've ever noticed it before. That is the law of attraction at work, because you have put that image in your head, because you put that thought in your head. Now, as you go along, you're going to subconsciously, unconsciously, consciously look and see that car. It happens every time. Every time I've wanted a new car, it's like, what? Did everybody get a memo to get this car? Maybe I don't want it anymore because I like being unique. But that's just the law of attraction at work. So when Imelda was talking to me about being going from a job that she hated, suffered in, and is moving to a new job, I just said to her, unasked, well, if I could suggest to you, as you move into this new job, before you move into this new job, to spend a little time thinking about your old job. And you could tell that she's like, what? I want to get as far away from that old job as possible. But my advice, my recommendation, I am not, by the way, a licensed psychologist. I am a psychologist, but I'm a happiness coach because I purposefully chose not to go into that field. I believe that going over the same pain sometimes is not good. And so my method is to coach in a way that goes through any kind of pain all the way through and then out the other side where there's power. So for her particular pain, it is her past job. And so I advised her, recommend that she sit down and actually write all those things that she loved about that job. As hard, as difficult or challenging as it may have been or is, maybe she's doing it right now, if she's following her homework. I'm going to see her actually at the last Friday of the month. She signed up, and I encourage you to do so as well. Every month, I do a Get Happy Hour. This will be the last one for this year because I'm going to be traveling to Australia for next month. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I have 2 left, and then I'm not doing them next year. So take advantage. Your last 2 Get Happy Hours every last Friday online at 7. And if you register at drmarissa.life, just scroll down that homepage, you'll find it. I answer questions like this, free coaching. So she'll be coming, so you can join her for that Get Happy Hour. I asked her to do this because when she connects with those things that she enjoyed and appreciated about that job, then she's more able to re-look at that job, not as something that she suffered in, not as a place that she hated, not as a place where things were done wrong to her, where she was ill-treated. She already has that story down. She already knows about all of that. She's already talked about that to friends and family. She's already, killed that horse or, put that moose on the table, which is my Canadian version of talking about the elephant in the room. She doesn't need practice doing that. What she does need practice doing is remembering the good parts of the job. Why is that important? Because pain in life is mandatory. Suffering is optional. If you keep that suffering alive, you will just recreate that similar situation wherever you go. I don't want her new job to begin in that same place where she is. I want her to be elevated to a place where she can see that all that job gave her was not just suffering, that there were also things that she learned, that she appreciated, that was offered to her. I'm sure she had coworkers that she could commiserate with. I'm sure she learned new skills in that job. I'm sure, if nothing else, how to deal with people who are challenging. Okay? Because in every job, just like in every relationship, just like in every apartment, just like in every grade, just like in every teacher, the pain points are always wonderful teachers. They gave you an opportunity to develop something in you that you didn't have before. And that, my friends, is wow, I just saw 4444 on the counter, 88. I'm speaking the truth. I'm hoping you drink my Kool-Aid here because we just got the universal nod in that counter. I know for a fact that when she does this, then that job becomes just a chapter in her book called Job and Career, right? It's kind of the same as relationships. You go into it, you hope that you last maybe a long time or a lifetime. Those days are over, by the way, folks, if you haven't noticed. And then the good news is when you go to apply for a job, I remember in the old days, I would tell people, you should probably stay somewhere like 10 years to show that you have commitment. Now it's like, if you stay a year, it shows you have commitment. So the good news is, in my book, I want you to have the most experiences possible in life, good, bad, and ugly, and beautiful. So that Imelda can put that job in a chapter that she doesn't label suffering, that she labels, this is what I learned. This is what I got, even in a place that was predominantly negative. I still learned this, and I was still, I still got this. I still received, and that list is going to grow. It's not just going to be the things that were good about that. It's the good things that you learned. Does that make sense? You got that? Because that is the Mental Health Matters Monday Happy 88 tip. Don't marinate in suffering. And thank you for that finger. Somebody just gave a finger the thumbs up, and I appreciate that very much. I hope that these words, it's not about me, it's about your ability to receive something that is going to help up your happiness number. That's why I do this. I get extreme joy. First and foremost, just talking. Anytime I don't feel good, I just talk about what I talk about in my work. This is my work. I love my work. And I feel better. It's a nice lesson for me, right? When the student is ready, the teacher appears, and that happens in my life every single day. So I hope you heard that. I hope you see that. And because we're going to move on, I wanted to close with a wonderful little interview that I did, and hopefully it uploaded. I tried to, yes, it's complete. Yippee! I am going to find it. I had a lovely little chat with a lovely little Mila who's 5 years old. And she just, it's here. I met her outside of the Catalina Jazz Festival. Oh no, it says processing. This is what happens when I do HD. And I'm sorry, Mila, I'm going to have to show your video on another day, but it will be available on my YouTube free subscribe channel. It is saying that it's just taking too much time to process. If anybody knows how to take a high resolution video on your phone and downgrade the video, please let me know, because I used to be able to just quickly airdrop my videos, and now because the phone is so good, it is more difficult to do. So, oh boy, maybe Frank, you can help me with that because you're good at that stuff. But it was, and if I play it on here, I think it's not going to be good enough. We can try. But let's see. Let's see how this goes. Frank, you can let me know. Beautiful, amazing. You're getting audience reactions to see how they enjoyed the actual festival. And who do I have here? What's your name? Mila. That's a beautiful name. How old are you? 5 years old. What would you say in one word describes how you're feeling right now? Good, is it good? How about a second word that's a feeling word? Like feel, or feel frustrated, or I Feel excited. What about you? Excited. And why are you This is a girl that has a career in front of the camera. What do you think about that? Good. All right. Now, what would you, if you were on my show, if you were to tell people one thing about how you would like to see the world, what would you say? Here's what somebody said. Do you see people acting nicely outside? Okay. What are they doing? Walking around. And do you see people doing things that are no? Good. Because we don't want to see things that we don't want to see, right? Okay. So, what would be one thing that you would wish for? When's your birthday? 14. March. Okay, so you got a half a year.
My
so
arm.
What's something that you would wish for the next half a year? Just good. Okay. Santa, but I think Mom and Dad made it. So we'll see what happens. What's the thing that you think people should playing with friends? That is such a good point. And did you miss doing that during COVID? Not really. What did you do during COVID when you weren't with your friends? In the house watching shows all day. Oh, and what's your favorite show? Yeah. The Puppet Show. Oh, what? Powerpuff Girls. Powerpuff Girls. Oh, I remember that. Which is your favorite? Bubbles. Bubbles. Why? Just so cool. Well, that's a good answer. All right, so this is what I do at the end of every show. Are you ready? Take your fingers like this. This is me. And peace, right? So I want you to look at the camera and say peace in. Peace in.
She's good at it.
Say repeat after me, okay? Peace in. Peace in. Peace out. Peace out. World to peace. Through inner peace. Oh, amazing. Give me a peace five. Ready? Boom and peace. Yeah, one more time. Boom and peace. You are so awesome. Look at me for a second. This is what I say to all the kids I get to know. You anything that you put your heart, your mind to. Do you believe that? Awesome. Thank you so much for stopping by. This is Dr. Marissa reporting live. You know I try to balance out all the bad news out there with some good news. So now I go. And have the best day. See you on the show tomorrow. It's Mental Health Matters Mondays. Tune in. YouTube channel. 1,045 shows. Or you can just Google Dr. Marissa. Well, I apologize. That wasn't the best way to show it, but we're still processing on there. But that interview will be available on my YouTube channel. So please do free subscribe there. Isn't she adorable? Again, another one of the serendipitous things. I ended up having a conversation with her parents, and her mom is actually the mom, not her mom, sorry, her auntie. So the little hand and the little boy you saw was her cousin, Mila's cousin, and his parents were going to be getting together for a meeting to do some stuff together. So, you know, this is what life is about. If I can convey one thing to you today, is to try. You know, this is the part where people think that their not able to make choices in life. Like they are powerless over what's happening to them. Thanks, Frank. You may not have control. Obviously, you didn't have control over COVID. You don't have control over, your boss and what they're doing to you at work. You don't have control over layoffs. You don't have control over people acting stupid. You don't have control over people betraying you or, anything that is, just something you don't want to have happen. You don't have control over it. Okay. But you do have control over your reaction to it. It's a habit now, maybe because of COVID, which was something that was huge and affected everybody. I got a 55 that way. Anytime I see synchronous numbers, I make a wish. So that's another woo-woo crazy thing I do, but it works. So anytime I see that, I take a second, take a breath, and then make a wish. So just set an intention. I wish for more fun today. Okay? So your reactions to automatically blame the government. Right now, there's a lot of blaming going on with all the current events that are going on. Blaming the other person is, again, further attracting negativity into your life. That's your choice. When something bad happens to me, I choose to say, I don't like it, and I feel how much I don't like it, and I stomp my feet, and then within 16 seconds, I say, and I can't wait to see what good comes out of this. That's my final word on a tool to use. And when you get good at that, what happens is those words actually, I can't wait to see what good comes out of that. You're going to see some good. That book that I'm giving free, this came out of losing a $200,000 consulting job. I lost a $200,000 contract consulting job. And out of it comes I had time to write a #1 best-selling book because I said, I can't wait to see what good comes out of it. If it happens to me, it can happen to you. And that's it. This is Dr. Marissa on Monday Mental Health Matters Day. I hope you enjoyed my interview with Winnie Sun. I hope you enjoyed my interview with 5-year young Mila. I hope that you, thank you, I got another finger. This finger, not the other one. I hope you come tomorrow. We have a great show tomorrow, and I think I have 30 seconds to, I'm just in time. I have, I didn't write it down, but I have a great guest tomorrow that's coming on, so you'll have to keep it tuned here. This is Dr. Marissa reporting live from her living room on a show called Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show on KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, but please do come and free subscribe on my YouTube channel where you will get all 1,040, where am I now? 1,047 shows. And I knew I forgot to do something, but I think I covered a little bit in breakfast, but the Newport Beach Film Festival was amazing. I got to meet some fabulous new musicians I've never met before. Shout out to Bobby Lyle, and then Eric Marienthal. I've already met numerous times. He's fabulous. Of course, my favorite, Keiko Matsui, my sister. And you'll have to go to my social, Doc Balance on Instagram, to see. I'll be recapping all week and showing you some clips from the music. All right, that's it for today. Peace in, peace out. Oh, Regina Bell, and my names are up. I promise I will cover all of that on my social. Peace in, peace out, world peace through and peace. Now go and have the best day ever. See you tomorrow.